Well, welcome to you all. I'm delighted to see such a great audience, such a great turnout. Look at all those smiles. The first thing you have to do is smile very hard at the choir with lots of sparkles in your eyes. Because now they're singing to their friends and they're not going to worry about a thing. Right? Well, I'm Carol Nelson, and I have the extreme pleasure of directing this wonderful choir. And they are delightful. I think you're going to love it. I want to introduce you to the lady of the hour, and maybe the lady of the week. And if you saw her picture in the paper yesterday, it may be the lady of the century. So this is Judith Walls Freeman, who is a soprano in the chancel choir. As you know, she had a famous father, and he was very instrumental in beginning OSU's music program. And Judy is just an incredible composer. And we are so delighted that she's one of us. And so I'd like to introduce you to Judy now, and she'll talk about her wonderful music. Actually, we're going to sing her wonderful music before I introduce her.
Thank you, Carol, for those very kind words, and thank you, everybody, for coming. What a wonderful audience. I'm on My Way to Heaven, the song that we just sang. Was written in 2006 at the request of Lori Betts, who at that time was the conductor of the choir at Blanchette Catholic High School in Salem. And she said to me, Judy, I'd like you to write a piece for my students because I'd like to demonstrate to them that not all composers are dead old men. She said, I'd like them to understand that some composers are actually alive and that they're very ordinary people and you can talk to them and they will talk back, and that some composers are actually women. And I said, Lori, I'd be happy to write a song for your kids. Do you want it sacred or secular? And she said, well, since it's a Catholic high school, I guess it better be sacred. And she said, my kids love to sing upbeat, offbeat gospel songs. So I thought, okay, I have a blank piece of paper. Where am I going to get my inspiration? So I thought about Mother Teresa. And I thought, I wonder if Mother Teresa's ever written any prayers or meditations or anything I can read about. So I went down to Borders bookstore, went to the religion section, and sure enough, I found several volumes of things that she had written. And I came across this little book, and I chose it because it was cheap. But anyway, the first page I saw I am on my way to heaven. I thought, gospel song title, right there. But then it said, from a sign on the morgue of the Home for the Dying and Destitute in Calcutta. And I thought, well, look, I'm on my way to heaven doesn't mean that have to mean you're dying and destitute. It can mean you're just about ready to sit down to a really fine meal, or you've just met the love of your life, or you're just about ready to go on a great vacation, or you want to change your life in some way. So I had my song title. And then I thought, well, I wonder if there's anything else in this book to help me along. So I came across these words written by Mother Teresa. Let us all become a true and fruitful branch on the vine Jesus by accepting him in our lives as it pleases him to come, as the truth to be told, as the life to be lived, as the light to be lighted, as the love to be loved, as the way to be walked, as the joy to be given, as the peace to be spread, as a sacrifice to be offered in our families and within our neighborhood. So I used some of her words, I added a few of my own, and that's how I came to compose this song. But the nicest thing of all was that after I had introduced the song to Lori's choir, a 14-year-old boy paid me the nicest compliment that I think is possible for a 14-year-old boy to pay a woman of my age. He said, gee, Mrs. Freeman, I think you just may know what you're doing. When Carol approached me last summer about doing a concert of my compositions, needless to say, I was very flattered, a little overwhelmed. That was about 9 months ago, and my anticipation level has been about the same as giving birth for the first time. I began my somewhat sporadic composing career about 15 years ago. Up until that time, I had always been a soprano soloist and a piano accompanist, but I just felt I'd always wanted to try composing, and I always felt that I could do it. And so after I retired from my job, I just felt that the time was right, there was the peace and quiet in my life that I needed to start on this new creative adventure. And also, we had as our choir director at that time, Dr. Colette Schlegel, who was very supportive and encouraging, and she basically said to me, Judy, you write them, we'll sing them. And how wonderful is that for any composer to have a performing group absolutely at your disposal. I've sung in this choir since 1985, so I've known many of these people for almost 30 years. They're like a second family to me. And we have traveled around the world singing our beautiful music. And one of the great joys I've had as a composer is to be able to write songs for people whose voices I admire, which is certainly the case with this next song. I met Judy Martin Hedges in 1960 when we both sang in my father's select group, the Choralaires. My father was chairman of vocal studies at Oregon State University from 1947 to 1974. And Judy had at that time, and continues to have, one of the most beautiful soprano voices I have ever heard. I wrote this Benedictus in 1999, especially for Judy, in memory of my mother's passing.
Benedictus qui venit, in nomine Domini, in nomine Domini. Benedictus qui venit, in nomine Benedictus qui
Another great joy in being a composer is being able to work with other creative people. This next group of songs I've written in collaboration with Corvallis poet Jerry Custer. Jerry and I met in the mid-'80s, and it didn't take me long to find out what a wonderful way she had with the English language. So when I decided to compose, I immediately went to Jerry. I call her my dial-up composer because whenever I get an idea in my head, I just dial her up and I say, Jerry, how about composing whatever? And lo and behold, it's a few days or a week, I get exactly what I'm looking for. Her poems, in fact, all of the lyrics today are written in your program, and I hope at some time you'll take the opportunity to really read through them. But her poems are so descriptive, they actually tell me, as a composer, what I need to do. We've composed 9 pieces together, 6 that you're going to be hearing today. The first one, Christmas Sky, is obviously a Christmas song. The next one, Peace on Earth, is a song for the new year. And then we come to a song cycle, Seasons of Love. And here again, I wrote those especially for soloists whose voices I admire.
Because you are far away, or because all of that beauty ignored once, now lost forever.
Yes, spring is here again. Spring is here again.
But where? But long journey of our life together. Give me your hand, you take mine. Golden harvest call to us still, entwined upright, two broad old vines, together facing autumn's chill. We're warmed again by memory's wine. We grow old, yes, but we're not obsolete. That touch of frost make fruit more sweet.
Ice seals the lakes of your eyes. Frost fills the ridges of your frown. A winter blizzard wrecks your heart. Communication lines are down. Sweet summer thoughts of your share, wind and weather, our hopes and dreams, our love maddening quirks, but not our deepest hurts, it seems. Snow thickens on the unplowed road. Inside you huddle silently, where the stove's heat cannot touch you, lost in your Arctic misery. Please, no more breeze, breathe I wish I had known Edna St. Vincent Millay. Unfortunately, she's not with us anymore. When I read her beautiful poem, God's World, I just knew I had to set it because it just really resonated with me. It's just exactly how I feel about our beautiful Willamette Valley. Especially the line that says, "My soul is almost out of me." God's World. Now we come to the lighter half of the program, a group of gospel songs, a spiritual, and a tango. Leading off is a piece called Take Me to Jordan, and the way I came to compose this piece sounds a little bit silly, but it's absolutely true. I was out in my garden one lovely spring afternoon weeding. And I'm not a ladylike gardener. I don't sit on a stool and pull weeds or crouch down. I just sit down right in the dirt. And all of a sudden, I guess my mind was just very clear, but all of a sudden this song just came streaming into my head. And I'll tell you folks, when the muse hits you, you gotta go with the flow. So I ran inside and I grabbed some manuscript paper and brought it outdoors, and I pulled some weeds, wrote some music, pulled some more weeds, wrote some more music. You get the drift. And so I lovingly refer this song as my dirt song. And it was a really good deal because at the end of the afternoon, I had weeded my entire garden and written a song. Take Me to Jordan, sung by Ann Hubble and accompanied by our great Gratitude Jazz Band.
Take me to Jordan,
This next number, Walking in the Light, is a spiritual which was inspired by the struggle of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and the African American people, a struggle for equality.
I'm walking, walking in the light, walking in the light of the Lord. Glory, hallelujah, He shines His rays on me. I'm walking in the light of the Lord. I'm walking, walking in the light, walking in the light of the Lord. Glory, hallelujah, He shines His rays on me. I'm walking in the light of the Lord. I'm praying, praying for the right to be free. When the yoke of slavery is lifted from the world, praying for the right to be free. I'm hoping for the might to succeed. Hatred and injustice are swept away at last, hoping for the might to succeed. I'm saying for the fight to be on. To right up to others, all sisters and all brothers, I'm saying for the fight to be on. I'm walking, I'm praying, I'm hoping, I'm saying, 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 I'm walking in the light, I'm praying in the light, I'm walking in the light of the Lord, the Lord. Oh, glory, hallelujah, glory, hallelujah, I'm walking in the light of the Lord.
I have always been in love with the tango. Several years ago, my husband Pete and I traveled to Argentina and spent several days in Buenos Aires, where tango is really a way of life. They even have a 24-hour TV tango chess. There are tango clubs all over the city where families spend evenings. First, the children take to the floor where they're taught the dance, and then their parents fill out the evening. I wanted a very different piece to insert into this program, and here again I was able to hook up with a very talented poet in Anne Brassfield Hubble. Anne was a student of my father's in the early 70s when she sang in his select choir, the Choraleers, at OSU. Anne is a Corvallis native and now lives in Santa Clara, California. And it was on one of her trips home that we reconnected, and I asked her to sing in this concert. And she said, well, she says, I love to write poetry. And I said, are you any good? And she's not shy, neither am I. And she said, yes. So I put her to the test, and I asked her if she would write me some tango lyrics. And I said, if you write them for me, I'll set them and you can sing them. So she did. And the result is called The Duel. And I've scored this for a typical small tango ensemble consisting of piano, violin, double bass, and a bandoneon. The bandoneon is a double-action, square-shaped type of accordion, which was invented in Germany in the 19th century and has 71 notes. Our bandoneon player, David Jenks, has traveled down from Portland, where he plays regularly with tango orchestras in that area. Our dancers are Barbara Platt, a ballroom dance instructor at OSU who choreographed this piece, and her partner, Michael Prushka, and our soloist and lyricist, Ann Hubble. And it's a hoot.
Handsome gauchos and ladies of the night, couples whirling round the dance floor in a shadowy embrace, bodies touching in the moonlight. Who will win this race?
This little light of mine, this last spiritual, has always been a favorite of mine because I love the message. We've all been given special talents that we really should share with the rest of the world. So everybody, don't be afraid to let your little light shine.